hear me all right? Can you hear me in the back? Apparently not. Let's see. Yeah, in the back. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Vestavia Hills Candidate Forum. My name is Chris Stewart. It's my honor to serve as your moderator this evening. Thank you for joining us for this important community event. I do ask patience and grace. I am a sportscaster rather than a journalist by trade. If somebody would mind playing catch during this, it would certainly help put me at ease. But we are appreciative of all of you being here. We do want to most importantly thank our host, the Vestavia Hills Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Vestavia Voice for organizing and supporting tonight's forum. The purpose of this forum this evening is to provide our community with a neutral, structured setting where voters can hear directly from each candidate about their priorities and vision for Vestavia Hills. This is an opportunity to compare candidates fairly, ask questions about local issues, and gain the information needed to make informed decisions in this upcoming election. Before we begin, let me share the format and guidelines for this evening. Each candidate will be introduced individually and will have 2 minutes for an opening statement. 4 primary questions were provided to each candidate prior to this event. Only the candidate who is called by name may respond to the question. Responses to all questions are limited to 1 minute. Additional unscripted questions will be asked during the forum. These questions were submitted by the public, screened in advance, and may vary according to election race. John Anderson, representing the Vestavia Voice, and Michelle Hawkins, representing the Vestavia Hills Chamber of Commerce, will ask these questions submitted by the public. There will be no public Q&A during the event. A designated timekeeper will ensure equal speaking time for all candidates and help us stay on schedule. Each candidate will give a 1-minute closing statement in the order called. This is not a debate, but it is a structured, moderated conversation led by a neutral facilitator. We want you to meet the candidates, but first I do want to acknowledge that 2 candidates are unopposed. Both are already certified as winners. In place 1, Rusty Weaver. Place 4, Allie Pilcher. Now, let's meet our candidates for mayor. Richard Cheatwood and Ashley Curry. Candidates for council, place number 2, Kimberly Cook and Carl Julian. Candidates for place number 3, Brian DeMarco, Jacob Pugh, and Michael Vercher. We'll begin with opening statements in this same order. Each candidate will have 2 minutes. Candidate for mayor, Richard Cheatwood, you have 2 minutes.
My name is Richard Cheatwood, and 54 years old. Been living in Vestavia for 20 years. Was a police officer for Vestavia for 19 years. I haven't held a political office before, but I've been with y'all. I've been helping y'all solve problems and issues that you may have. Glad to do. I was actually law enforcement for 22 years, 2.5 years in Bessemer, before I went to Vestavia. I was on patrol most of my career, out in the community every day, hearing concerns, seeing issues firsthand. My experience gave me to understand city works and the community cares about it. Now I want to keep serving the way and be a voice for the community. I built strong relationships with the residents. And back then, I don't know if y'all remember, my name was Officer Cheatwood. And they really did trust in my thoughts and what they needed, and then giving them the information they need to handle whatever problem they had. Because that's usually when you're dispatched to a call, it's about a problem every time. So I have went to the Birmingham Police Academy in 1986, have multiple first responder trainings, as well as trainings in management and budget. And I'm glad y'all have it here. Thank you to the chamber. Thank you for starting this meeting.
Ashley Curry, you have 2 minutes. Candidate for mayor.
Good evening. I am a 40-year resident of Vestavia Hills. My wife, Morgan, and I have 2 children. Our son, Stuart Curry, is a dentist in Vestavia Hills, and our daughter, Anna Galano, is an attorney with a law firm here in Birmingham. Our whole family lives in Vestavia. My children attended and graduated from Vestavia Hills City Schools, and I have 4 grandchildren presently attending our schools. With a law enforcement career and 2 terms as your mayor, I have almost 40 years in public service. Look around at this building, this Civic Center. What do you see with this building? Well, you see the results of a mayor and a council that wanted to enhance the quality of life for our residents. This 2-minute introduction does not allow enough time to address community spaces and infrastructure plan that renovated Wall Park, that provided road and sidewalk improvements in Cahaba Heights, and developed our new aquatic center. There is a lot more to come for our city, and I would like to continue serving as your mayor. Thank you.
Next, candidate for council, place number 2, Kimberly Cook, you have 2 minutes.
So it does my heart good to see so many people here tonight. In 9 years of serving, I have urged citizens to get involved. This means showing up, learning about issues, and telling your councilwoman what you think. I texted over 6,000 people on Wednesday. I got 800 replies. That must be a record. I responded to every single one. And this is how I've served for 9 years. Answering your emails, your phone calls and texts, because I have found that when I make a connection, you know that your opinion matters. I'm a problem solver, and I focus on results. We have made decisions about how the city spends your money, so the best thing to look at is results. School system, schools of character, blue ribbon schools, more than $46 million in scholarships for students, roads, sidewalks, stormwater, 69 miles of paving, 19,000 feet of sidewalks, 17,000 feet of drainage. Financials, AAA credit rating, 136% growth in reserves, all while taking care of our city and making it look better than it ever has before. Parks, Walled, Cahaba Heights, Altadena, Shack, and the beautiful place that we're meeting in tonight. Local businesses, they're booming. We have new places to shop, dine, and play. I'm proud of our city and what we've accomplished together. And we held 33 town halls right off the bat to find out what you wanted. You told us infrastructure, parks, budget hearings, strategic planning, coffees and conversations. It's all part of my job, and it's made our city better and stronger because I've listened to you. And if you want to continue moving in the right direction, vote for me, Kimberly Cook. I listen, I lead, and we get results.
Candidate for council, place number 2, Carl Julian, you have 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your candidate for place 2 on the Vestavia Hills City Council, Carl Julian. My beautiful wife, Julianne, and I were both raised in Vestavia. We graduated from Vestavia Hills High School some years ago, too many to mention here. I'm sure you can relate. When we decided on the best place to raise our 3 kids, there was no other more obvious choice than the city that had nurtured us. Back in the spring, while we were enjoying dinner and conversation with friends, it was mentioned that many of the concerns of our fellow residents haven't changed significantly over the past 9 years. So what were the primary concerns in 2016? School system overcrowding, stormwater flooding on 31 and at Meadowland Park after it was built, overdevelopment, poorly maintained streets, needed sidewalks. I would appreciate you putting your vote behind one of my top priorities. I'd like to find a way to secure the remainder of funds to complete the $8 million stormwater abatement project on Highway 31. Senator Katie Britt graciously earmarked $3 million towards this project in late 2023 to be expended in 2024 or forward. She was unable to secure any additional funding in late 2024. With city income increasing year over year, we currently have a healthy reserve balance of $31 million. If we are not willing to use those monies, then we need to find an alternative quickly. Our small businesses and homes have continued to struggle with stormwater damage. As an owner of a small business myself, I cannot imagine being out of my income for days or weeks. Residents were begging for a Liberty Parkway to be deeded to the city in order to be patrolled and maintained more efficiently. Drivers in and through Liberty Park are now simply hoping they can operate their cars safely, as the center lines and crosswalks have substantially faded. So I am not looking to make city council a career identity or jumping off point for future political office. What I am looking to do is to meeting citizens from all walks of life in Vestavia, address their needs, not just large businesses, not just people with strong voices and big opinions. Thank you.
Candidate for council, place number 3, Brian DeMarco. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Excuse me. I want to first just thank the Voice and the Chamber for putting this on. This is really a great event, but I want to thank all of y'all for coming and taking time out of your busy lives. I know we're all running busy lives, and so it really means a lot to me to see y'all all out here supporting this and having so much interest in the city of Vestavia. And to everybody up here, I just want to say good luck. I've had the chance to meet everybody, and I want to say no matter what the outcome on the 26th, I do think the city will be in good hands. I've lived in Vestavia for 46 years. I have 4 children, 1 that's already graduated, 1 that's at Pizzitz, and 2 that are at West. Sad to say, I don't think there's going to be another time when all my kids are at the same school, so that's unfortunate. I'll have to continue running 1,000 different directions. We lead very busy lives. We are involved in sports. We are involved in all the extracurriculars, everything that goes on with the schools. And so in addition to me being an attorney, I'm also an Uber driver apparently. I just don't get paid for it. So the reason I decided to run for city council is just to keep Vestavia a city that people want to live in. As I said, I grew up here. I decided this is where I wanted to raise my family, and I've talked to so many that are just like that they have lived here 40, 50, 60 years, and their children are now living here, and I just think that's fantastic. I have no aspirations of any political career higher than city council. Don't know any builders, don't know any developers. My main allegiance is to you, the residents. I want to serve you and make sure we continue making Vestavia just a great city to live in. Wow, that was a quick 2 minutes.
Candidate for council, place number 3, Jacob Pugh. You have 2 minutes.
Well, good evening, everyone. Appreciate the Chamber hosting this event. I also think it's a testament to our city that I've been able to get to know both my opponents, genuinely like both of them, have enjoyed talking with them throughout this race. Civic service is something that has just always been a part of me. Growing up with my parents through church, local opportunities that they instilled in me to serve my community. When I graduated college, I became a police officer at Florence Police Department and then ultimately Hoover Police Department. And then I stepped into the private world where I continued this civic service through the Vestavia Hills Sunrise Rotary Club, Brother Brian Mission, the Police Foundation, and a number of other activities through church and other civic organizations. So it's always been ingrained in me that civic service is something that we should do as people. Both of my girls went through the Vestavia school system. They've graduated and have gone off to college. Seemed like a great opportunity to step up and to serve. I've been married to my beautiful wife for 26 years. She was a teacher in the school system as well. And she looked over at me one day and said, you need something else to do because you're getting bored. And you know, this was one more thing to be able to do. I believe that I have being a small business owner and entrepreneur, I believe that I have a unique skill set that serves this role well. being civically minded, understanding what makes small businesses tick, how to support them, how to take on projects that can involve many stakeholders, I believe will lend me very well with this opportunity. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
And candidate for council, place number 3, Michael Vercher, you also have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, and I'd like to echo. There we go. Good afternoon. I'd like to also extend my thanks to the Vestavia Voice and the Chamber for putting this on tonight. And I also want to thank the mayor and the city council because in my opinion, and one of the reasons why I decided to run and to get in the race is they've done an excellent job over the past number of years that I've been observing things. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to serve my community and to enter the election is to continue the momentum that has already been put in place by the not only the city council but also its boards. I serve as the chair, immediate past chair of the Planning and Zoning Committee, and I know exactly what it takes to make a city run, and I think this city is run as well as any city around. And I feel called to use my experience in law and in business, and also my civic experience to help my community. I believe civil service is a form of Christian charity. And I frankly haven't been doing enough volunteering at my church lately. So this is a way for me to be able to give back to my community. So I'm asking for your vote. And I want to let you know that if you do have the confidence to vote in me, I can use my business, legal, and civic experience to help my community. I'll listen to the community. I'll consider all sides of the issue. I'm not going to be swayed by political rhetoric. I will look at facts, and I'll make the best decision that I can make, and I feel like it would be made in service of the entire community. And I'll take action if it's an appropriate thing to do, and if it's in the best interest of all of Vestavia Hills. The city council ought to be in the problem-solving business. As a litigator, I have the experience to do that. Thank you.
All right. Time now for our first round of questions. And we'll begin, making sure I'm on the right page here. We do move forward to the first round of questions, focusing on the topic of property taxes and education funding. We'll begin with the candidates for mayor. Ashley Curry, how did you vote on the 2023 property tax increase for Vestavia Hills City Schools, and would you support raising property taxes in the future? Please explain your reasoning for both in 1 minute.
I may talk faster than I normally do, but I voted in favor of the most recent request for an increase, and the reason being that I would remind you that our schools are the #1 reason people move to Vestavia Hills. I will also point out that we all benefit when our property values increased with the increased demand for real estate in Vestavia Hills. We must maintain the excellence that we expect, and that includes adequate space and comfortable classrooms for our children. I don't think the voters realize the significant repairs needed for the infrastructure, particularly in our older schools. Thank you.
Richard Cheatwood, you will also have 1 minute to answer. How did you vote on the 2023 property tax increase for Vestavia Hills City Schools? And would you support raising property taxes in the future? Please explain your reasoning for both.
I voted no. We just had a major property tax assessment by the county. Was not transparent enough. The picture of the money would be spent. It wasn't for going for overall education, more sports. Projects included in the plan didn't seem necessary. I support schools more than anybody. I do not support raising property taxes. There are many other ways to bring revenue to this city. Federal grants, private partnerships, reviews of fees and speak expenses. Online sales have affected the city revenue, and the tax money that comes, we don't know where the tax money, if I buy an item in Vestavia online, they should get the tax money. So that's something that needs to be worked out, and we need to get together with the other over the mountain cities to see if we can figure that problem out.
Thank you. Time to move to the candidates for council, place number 2. Same topic, property taxes and education funding. Carl Julian, how did you vote on the 2023 property tax increase for Vestavia Hills City Schools? Would you support raising property taxes in the future? Please explain your reasoning for both.
I voted no for the property tax increase, and let me tell you why. Our city has a great school system, and when I was graduating, I graduated in '97, we had a tremendously great school system, and it's even become even more so now. But when I asked for breakdowns of how this money would be used, there was no really specific allocations. It was very generic, the budgeting for how the new revenue would be applied. And so I don't think that it is good planning to do that. And then the last thing I'll tell you is that the way the tax referendum was written is that it would be in perpetuity. So long after the capital needs have been met, we'd still be paying the higher rate. So I don't think it's fair to ask the citizens here to write blank checks for the city.
Kimberly Cook, you also have 1 minute. How did you vote on the 2023 property tax increase for Vestavia Hills City Schools? Would you support raising property taxes in the future? Please explain your reasoning for both.
What I hear loud and clear is that people don't want higher property taxes, especially seniors. And I completely understand. The fact is that neither the city council nor the school board can raise your property taxes. Only you can with your vote. And the council agreed to let the voters decide after the school board asked us to. And I can't raise property taxes. That's something only voters can do. If a plan doesn't make sense, you can vote no, and that's what happened. If schools need more money, I ask myself what the city can do to help. The city is doing its part to grow our economy, responsible growth that doesn't put pressure on schools, but gives them the kind of money that they need to have an excellent education for our kids without raising taxes.
Was it yes or no?
I voted yes to send it to the legislature.
Voted yes. Voted yes to raise taxes.
I voted yes on the tax proposal.
Michael Vercher, on to candidates for council place number 3. The topic is property taxes and education funding. Michael Vercher, how did you vote on the 2023 property tax increase for Vestavia Hills City Schools? Would you support raising property taxes in the future? Please explain your reasoning for both.
I did vote for the referendum for 2 reasons. One, I trust our city council and our school board, and believe there was and still is a need for funds to maintain our excellent school system. And 2, aside from providing an excellent learning environment for children, the quality of our schools directly impacts the majority of Vestavians who own their own houses in the form of increased property value. Now, with regard to the question of would I be supportive of another tax, of another vote in order to let our citizens vote on whether or not to increase taxes, I don't know. The fact of the matter is, and I'm not going to pledge anything that I can't follow through on, I can't predict the future. And because I don't have a crystal ball, I can't tell you what methodology I might use to solve a problem. But I can tell you this, I'm the last person on the planet that wants to have another tax put on me. And so I would do everything in my power, it's also all available remedies in order to not let that happen again.
Jacob Pugh, you also have 1 minute. How did you vote on the 2023 property tax increase for Vestavia Hills City Schools? And would you support raising property taxes in the future? Please explain your reasoning for both.
So the property tax increase was a very conflicting proposition for me. Initially, I supported the increase. My wife taught in the school systems. Both my kids were in the school systems. And obviously, you want the best for our school systems. Our schools are one of the reasons why our property values in Vestavia are what they are, and the community is what it is. I spoke to other people. I educated myself on it. And ultimately, I decided not to support the property tax increase. I've been very vocal in my campaign that I do not want any new taxes. We pay the second highest millage rate in the county, second to Mountain Brook. We have the highest sales tax in the county as well. So we are paying enough taxes, and I do not support any more taxes.
Brian DeMarco, you have 1 minute. How did you vote on the 2023 property tax increase for Vestavia Hills City Schools? And would you support raising property taxes in the future? Please explain your reasoning for both.
Thank you. In 2023, I opposed the property tax. My decision was not anti-teacher or anti-administration. It was stemmed from concerns for financial planning and long-term debt that the city would have taken on. I want our schools to thrive, and as others have mentioned, our entire city thrives when our schools do good, and our schools do great. We have great schools. I also recognize that at that time, many families were already stretched thin, and I think that taxes should never be the first answer. They should always be the last answer, that we need to raise taxes. I was concerned there were too many uncertainties about where the money would go. Several things, like somebody mentioned, were finite items. So, what that leads me to believe is we didn't plan adequately in the past for these things. We didn't anticipate things that we knew were going to need to be replaced, and so that's something we've got to do better. To answer the question, if we do need another tax increase, I would insist on seeing that. Oh, sorry. That was the best part. It was going to get really good.
We're going to get her a hook.
Please.
No, not at all. Thank you for your answers. The second round of questions will be on the topic of goals for the next term. We'll begin with the candidates for council, place number 2, and we'll begin asking questions in this order. Kimberly Cook, then Carl Julian, but we'll start Kimberly Cook. Is there a specific goal or initiative you would like to accomplish by 2029, the end of the next term of office, and what steps will you take to achieve it?
So I want to see the transformation of Lower Highway 31, and I want to see thriving businesses where the old Days Inn used to be. We will continue negotiations through our master developer to attract the best businesses, to replace an unsafe hotel, and to give our citizens something that they want. We will build a stacked stone wall with big, beautiful letters saying, "Welcome to Vestavia Hills," and we will landscape the median and the right-of-way. You asked what I would do. That I say we, because everything the council does is a team effort. There are no pet projects, but only what benefits the entire city. I will be a team player, a person who doesn't think about what benefits me or my street, but will work with the whole team for the good of the city. It's not about me. It's about getting the results the community wants. I've done that for 9 years, and I will keep doing it.
Carl Julian, you have 1 minute as well. Is there a specific goal or initiative you would like to accomplish by 2029, the end of this next term of office? What steps will you take to achieve it?
Yeah, thank you. But just to clarify, there's no goal that I would accomplish. I will do what I see in my city. And one of the main things that we're dealing with is stormwater and infrastructure. So I alluded to that in my remarks. It's decades problem. It's gotten better. So we're not going up, but we still have to do to make it a little bit more. Less damage than home business has built. So one thing that we can do in the short term is better regulations and I guess we call it regulations that we have in place for developers. So right now, citizens developers come in, change the topography and allow to continue building and leave, the residents are left with for cost. So if we were to hit problems off before they started, force regulation and once you have in place, I think that would go a long way to mitigating circumstances.
Okay, on council place number three, goals for the next term. Q, is there a goal or initiative you would like to accomplish by 2029, the end of this next term of office? What steps will you take to achieve it? You have 1 minute.
Well, being a business owner myself and being very active in the business community, economic development is very important to me. I've talked to a lot of people in the community because I've been knocking on doors, and everybody has a different priority. And I don't want to diminish any of those priorities, but I know to accomplish those priorities, we have to have the revenue to be able to do those, whether it's fix the stormwater drainage issue, whether it's sidewalks to connect our neighborhoods, whatever the top priority is, we have to have the revenue to be able to do that. So my focus is going to be working with the community, working with city leaders who have done a great job in the past of help developing new businesses in the area to generate that revenue, because I do not believe in bringing any more taxes on our citizens, but we need to be able to bring the businesses in here so that we can have all these other things that we want as a community to enhance our city.
Brian DeMarco, you have 1 minute. Is there a specific goal or initiative you would like to accomplish by 2029, this next term of office? What steps would you take to achieve?
Thank you.
Yeah, my goal for 2029 is simple, just to keep Vestavia Hills safe, fiscally responsible, and well prepared for the future. Specifically, I want to make major progress in infrastructure, roads, stormwater, sidewalks. These have to be maintained, repaired, and expanded. Ideally, I would love to see a sidewalk run the length of Columbiana Road at this point, both sides. It scares me to death when I see my son and all these other kids get out of Gazettes and hit Columbiana Road walking up the side, and they're a foot away from cars going 60 miles per hour. It scares me to death to see that. The way we're going to do this is focus on disciplined budget, aggressively pursuing state and federal grants. There's plenty of money. A big booklet of all the available grants if anybody wants to look for it, look through it, and there was plenty there for sidewalks and infrastructure. That's it.
Michael Virtue, you have 1 minute. Goal or initiative you would like to accomplish by 2029, the end of this next term of office. What steps will you take to achieve it?
Okay, so simple answer, and it kind of continues on from the prior topic. The citizens have spoken. We hear you, I hear you, no new property taxes. But now it's time for the city council to get creative and figure out a way that we can fund our schools with ways other than an increase in taxes. And I believe the best way to do that is to increase our sales tax revenue. The government can only really raise revenue in 2 ways. One is a property tax, the other would be a sales tax. And, we can attract and recruit businesses and keep our money in this community. We can figure out a way to fund the shortfall and fund our schools.
On to candidates for mayor. Goals for the next term. Goals for the next term. Is there a specific goal or initiative you would like to accomplish by 2029, the end of this next term of office? What steps will you take to achieve it?
By 2029, I want to see Vestavia making real progress. Use focus on things that actually matter to the people who live here. Things like fixing major drainage issues and improving public safety, building long-promised sidewalks, and making existing dollars and revenues are spent wisely. Improvements in the city. The school system, people should be able to understand where the money is going. And have you say that means more transparency, easier access to meetings, making sure our schools, infrastructure, and public services are kept up.
Ashley Curry, is there a specific goal or initiative you would like to accomplish by the end of this next term of office? What steps will you take to achieve it?
Well, some of my personal goals for the next term include, number one, finishing all of the current projects that this administration has planned. That would include Highway 31 South, our stormwater program, and we need to do all of these staying within the strict financial parameters with which we work. Secondly, I'd like to see the completion of the Veterans Memorial at Altadena Valley Park. I would also like to initiate strategic planning with our newly created Arts Council for a Performing Arts Center in Vestavia. This would include the prospect of a joint venture with our schools in order to share that cost. Last, I'd like to re-energize our Phoenix program. That's for addicted individuals. If you are not aware, an addicted individual can seek assistance through any of our fire stations and receive care through a network of resource agencies.
The third round of questions for top business support for the business. Begin with candidates for council. Place number three. Start with Michael first. Are you an active member of our business community? Supports all businesses and entrepreneurs and local vendors in Vestavia Hills.
Thank you. Yes, I am an active member of the Chamber of Commerce and my law firm Institute. As I mentioned, I believe our city council can support businesses by making infrastructure like roads and sidewalks create a sense of community that invites people to live, eat, and play here in Vestavia. Continued investments in that community, and the way we present ourselves to the outside world and the other neighborhoods and towns that surround us can, by beautifying entryways into our city like 31 and Kahala Heights and Liberty Park, can also kind of create a sense of unity where people are enticed not only to visit here, but to stay and spend their tax dollars.
Jacob Hugh, you're next. Are you an active member of our business community to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and local vendors in Vestavia Hills?
Well, I'm a very active member of our business community. I have a business license in Vestavia. I own 2 businesses, although we're not located in Vestavia. We do business here all the time. I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for years with 3 different businesses. My daughter works at a small business. 5 of my campaign donors are either small businesses or small business owners in Vestavia. So clearly I have the support of a lot of the small businesses in this city, and I support those small businesses. Going back to one of my main accomplishments that I want to see done in the next 4 years is that economic development of bringing more businesses in. As we bring more businesses in, as we give more opportunities and more opportunities to our residents to be able to shop and to play within Vestavia, giving them a variety of businesses to support. I feel that's only going to strengthen our economy here, bring in the sales revenue that we need.
Brian DeMarco, you have 1 minute. Are you an active member of our business community? What will you do to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and local vendors?
Thank you. Yes, I am an active member as well. I think the government's role is to create an environment where small businesses can thrive, not to get in the way after that. I try to support our small businesses as much as I can, and as I've mentioned, with 4 kids, we are constantly buying something. You wouldn't believe how much sporting equipment we have, haircuts, and we try to do all of that investment. We try to do all of that investment. We try to keep our money here as much as possible. I think the one way to try to help these local businesses is to try to cut some of the red tape. We've got to streamline some of the permitting processes. I have talked with some small business owners. Some are trying to get some additions added on, and they're running into issues with permitting, and it's becoming a big problem. Their thought process is, well, I can just go down to Homewood, or I can go over to Hoover, and I can set up shop and not have this problem. So we've got to try to remove any unnecessary regulations.
All these candidates for council, place number 2. The topic is support to business community. Carl Julian, you an active member of our business community? What would you do to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and local vendors in Vestavia Hills?
Yeah, so I'm a small business owner, so I know exactly how it feels to meet business out there and make it thrive. So I'm very pro-business, definitely do, continue supporting, continue supporting our businesses. Chamber of Commerce does a great job. Chamber of Commerce does a great job on cement. Putting on cement. I agree with Kim about love to see that lower 31. I would love to see that attract more businesses, attracting more vendors, retailers, retailers, restaurants, because we want to make the stadium a place to eat. And what we need to do is to come up with creative solutions. Two ways is a great first step. We really want to make this a destination step, but we really want to make this a destination. People come spend time. So one way we can do that is to increase the walkability, the connectivity of these different districts. Ultimately more money and actually here. Ultimately more money that would be here, and that would be great.
Kimberly Cook, are you an active member of our business community? What would you do to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and local vendors?
Yes, I am. I've been a member of the Chamber for a number of years. I've supported Alcoholics Merchants Association or Rocky Ridge Association supporting their events. We support business owners by listening to their ideas and strengthening infrastructure. This makes our businesses prosper. It pays for things you want. When people build housing developments or $150 million office buildings, it means more money for paving, sidewalks, and infrastructure. Growing business supports schools. Want higher teacher salaries, want better buildings. The Bray Development alone will bring $120 million to our school system over 25 years. Look at the results. Empty Sprout store replaced by Pickler, abandoned gas station, now Martin's Barbecue, dirty maintenance yard, now Bob Baumhauer's. We did this while growing our reserves 136% and delivering results that you wanted. We invest, you get the reward, you get more and better. And all you have to do is look around because results speak louder than promises.
Now on to candidates for mayor. Topic, support for the business community. Support for the business community. You have 1 minute. Are you an active member of our business? Are you an active member of our business community? Small businesses. What will you do to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and local vendors in Vestavia?
Our city and our Chamber of Commerce fully support our local businesses with no big box retailers and no shopping centers. We rely on our local businesses. Now, on a personal level, I try to assist the businesses in my role as mayor. For example, in May of 2020, during COVID, I wrote Governor Ivey and asked that our small businesses be allowed to reopen. Wasn't fair that the big box stores like Walmart and even liquor stores were open, but our small businesses were still restricted from opening. Just this past year, I lobbied on behalf of our independent pharmacists, and I assisted in getting legislation passed to obtain an equal cost reimbursement for our local pharmacists.
Richard Cheatwood, are you an active member of our business community? Are you an active member of our business community? Small businesses. What will you do to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and local vendors in Vestavia?
I don't own a business in Vestavia Hills. I support community shopping here. Promote community, promote the community drive, bring business to existing. First and foremost, focus on encouraging shoppers. My wife and the existing local business. My wife worked in Alabama tourism for many years. She always talks about the lack of tourism. We should talk about tourism. We should be encouraging investing in more, encouraging tourism advertising, social media promotions, tourism advertising, and finding unique ways to pay, unique ways to advertise outside the community and business. Need more lighting, sidewalks, and sidewalks area. So it could be Rocky Ridge area, same as equal. So it could be on community same as equal. Lighting, sidewalks, lighting, and
Our fourth round of questions will be on the topic of capital projects for our topic of begin with the candidates for council, place begin with the candidates for council, place number 2. With limited funding, the city must prioritize projects such as road improvements, sidewalks, stormwater management, public safety, and library services. Public safety, if you had to choose the top 5 current capital project needs in the city, please rank them from 1 to 5 in order of priority.
People know that you can't have everything. And
So
just
people
like a
know
home
that you
budget,
can't have everything,
you have to
and just like a home budget, you have to concentrate on the things that are most essential. So for me, infrastructure is always number 1. It is essential. And this means increasing funding every year, as we have done on paving, sidewalks, and stormwater. I hear over and over that this is very important to people. Number 2, public safety. We have to make sure that all areas of our city get the same quick response times. Number 3, upgrading Lower Highway 31. Number 4, traffic safety, redesigning the Sickert Hollow maintenance yard used by carpool and park guests. And number 5, parks, returfing the girls' softball fields so they get to play as much as the boys. Those are my top 5. I would also like to see a library in Liberty Park if it fits in the budget.
Carl Julian. With limited funding, the city must prioritize projects such as road improvements, stormwater management, such as road sidewalks, stormwater management, public safety, sidewalks, parks and recreation, public safety, and library services. If you had to choose the top 5 current in the city, capital projects rank them from 1 to 5 in the city in order. Please rank them from 1 to 5.
Well, 1 minute's not really a lot of time, so I'm just gonna read and
Well, 1 minute's not really a lot of time, so I'm just gonna
Stormwater management. We need to protect property.
Stormwater management.
Prevent flooding, protect property and infrastructure, prevent flooding, safeguard quality of life and health.
Number 2, road improvements.
Runoff.
Number 2, road improvements.
Residents, roads safe, smooth, and well maintained.
Also addressing issues of
chronic
emergency
excessive speeding.
Also addressing issues of
chronic
excessive
speeding.
Number 3, sidewalks and walkability.
Certain neighborhoods.
We need to
Provide
provide sidewalks and walkability.
pedestrian routes.
We need to
Provide
provide
safe, connected pedestrian routes. Neighborhoods.
Number 4, parks and
Parks
recreation.
and businesses. Need to
Number
maintain
4, parks and
spaces
recreation.
that people need to maintain and improve spaces that people cram people together.
Besides activities for seniors and younger
Besides activities for
I'd like to
seniors and younger kids, I like to identify older children in spaces attractive to older children and teens.
And number 5, public safety.
Ensure that our
And
first
number
responders
5,
have safety resources. Ensure that our first responders have
Safety.
resources. This would include the addition of emergency services. This would include the addition of emergency services in response park area, which will cut down the estimated response life to 911 calls by a minute, which can make a life difference.
On the candidates for council place number 3. Our topic, capital project. Priorities. Limited funding. The city must prioritize limited funding such as road prioritize projects, water management, such as sidewalks, parks and recreation, water management, public safety, and parks and recreation. If you had to choose the top 5 current capital if you had to choose the top 5 current capital project needs in the city order, please rank them from 1 to 5.
Well, clearly given my background in law enforcement, as well as my service through the Rotary Club supporting our first responders and my work as on the board of directors for the Vestavia Hills Police Foundation, public safety is paramount for me. We have to have our safety. We have to have a well-equipped police and fire departments that can service our citizens the way that they expect to be serviced. Next, I would put roads and infrastructure around the stormwater drainage. I live right off of Highway 31. I know what an inconvenience is. I understand how it can shut down businesses, and I definitely think we need some improvement there. Third, I would put sidewalks. The connectivity that sidewalks bring to our neighborhood that can join our communities is very important. I would put Parks and Rec and Library at the bottom of the list simply because I believe that we have made significant improvement in both of those areas in the last few years, and I believe we need to give some attention to some other areas in the near future.
Brian DeMarco, you'll have 1 minute. Brian DeMarco, funding, the city must prioritize projects limited funding. The city must prioritize projects, sidewalks, such as road recreation, stormwater management, sidewalks, parks and recreation. If you had to choose the top 5 service capital project, if you had to choose the top 5 current capital project needs in the city, please rank them from 1 to 5 in order of priority.
Public safety, nothing matters more than the health and safety of our families. Stormwater management, we have to protect property from flooding, roads from flooding. City sidewalks, they connect our communities, they connect our cities. Parks and libraries, Vestavia already has world-class parks, and our library is fantastic. We have to keep supporting that. And then our roads, we have to continue paving roads. The city's already doing a great job with paving a certain amount of miles each year, but we have to continue doing that.
Michael Vercher. With limited funding, the city must prioritize projects such as road improvements, the city must prioritize projects such as road parks and recreation, stormwater management, sidewalks, parks and recreation, public safety, and libraries. The top 5 current capital projects in the city. The top 5 current capital project needs in the city. Please rank them from 1 to 5 in order of
It's
priority.
the original reason for local governments and still has to be a priority for local governments and safe. They're not gonna live, work, or play in your community. Safe. Protect human life first and foremost and always. Number 2, stormwater management. Fix the stuff that causes property damage. Number 3, road improvements. Again, fix the stuff that causes property damage. Again, once you have protect your citizens from injury, property damage, then you can start at the ends of the community. So I put sidewalks number 4, keep our kids safe as they roll in a safe community. And that also builds communities. Number 5, parks and rec. Can the community have enough ball fields? I don't think so. Number 6, libraries, and I really envision the transformation of libraries and innovation of knowledge and books to spaces for activity centers for the performing arts, traveling museums, for activity centers for the performing arts, traveling museums.
On to candidates for mayor, our topic, capital candidates for mayor, our topic. Richard Cheatwood, capital project priorities. With limited funding, the city must prioritize projects such as road improvements. With limited funding, the city must prioritize sidewalks, parks and recreation, public safety, and library services. Sidewalks, parks and recreation, public safety, and library services. If you had to choose city top 5, please rank them from 1 to 5 in order of needs in the city. Please rank them from 1 to 5 in order of priority.
To me, this includes, number 1 is public safety. To me, this includes stormwater management, sidewalks, road improvements, protected citizens. Should always be a priority. And public safety doesn't just mean crime. Stormwater management affects citizens, local businesses, properties, revenue. It can affect the health of the community as well. And we should fix this years ago, like before I was born. Sidewalks and road improvements should be together. Both health, road improvements, mostly in the city are from the county. Recreation, lighting sidewalks, county roads. Parks recreation, lighting sidewalks, needs something from the council, let's see what we wait on. In the library, this is good, they got a break. We need to start spending money and focus on what community on next.
Ashley Curry, you have 1 minute. With limited funding, Ashley Curry, you have 1 projects such as road improvements, stormwater management, sidewalks, parks and recreation, road improvements, safety and library sidewalks, parks and recreation, public safety and library services. If you had to choose, please rank top 5 current capital project needs in the city. Please rank them from 1 to 5 in order of priority.
In our planning session held in February, the following capital projects were established as priority. Renovation and enlargement of our fire department Station 4 at Liberty Park. Police department, by the way, safest city in the state for populations over 25,000. We need the development of a police department training facility and substation near the Sacred Hollow complex. Continued development on Highway 31, continued implementation of our stormwater master plan, and the building of a branch library also near the Sacred Hollow.
We'll now move on to our next set of questions which were submitted anonymously by the public to respond. And may vary by race. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond. John Anderson, with Vestavia Voice, will ask the next round of questions. John Anderson, with Vestavia Voice, will ask the next round of questions. We'll begin with candidates for council, place number 2. The topic, school board selection.
What kind of criteria would you use in selecting the future school board? What kind of criteria would you use in selecting the future school board?
I would love to see people that are passionate about. I would love to see people that are interested in child, passionate about education, people that are maybe very from the current school, and also people that I think we are maybe very from the current school board. So I think we homogenous board does not necessarily serve the best interest. So I would have a homogenous board, and I would vet each candidate. I would really look for that background, and I would vet each candidate rather than just find background, credentials thoroughly, rather than just perspective, each person's background, each person's references, checks, perspective, so each person's background, each person's references, checked. So, that about it.
Ms. Cook, I'll ask you the same question. What kind of criteria would you use? Ms. Cook, I'll ask you the same question. What kind of criteria would you use in selecting
it's not
future
criteria
school
I
board members?
use, it's the criteria.
So it's not the criteria I use, it's the criteria that we use because we all appoint the board members. My primary focus in appointing is finding the very best person in that particular board of applicants for that particular board, whether it's school board or planning and zoning or something else. For school board, I'm looking for diversity of school zone and relevant professional and life experience. Most of all, I want a person who is respected and engaged in the community, someone the community will trust. To me, that is the most important thing. We invite a lot of people to apply, and we give people an opportunity to understand the role. I hold a coffee with the board members so that we can understand the role. We pick the best fit to round out the board's perspective. It depends on who's on the board at the time, and we want to have representation from all parts of our community. To me, that's important, but we are limited to one appointment each year for a total of 5, and we do our best to make sure that all voices are represented. I want people to listen.
On to candidates for council place number 3, the topic, Vestavia Hills City Schools. Council place number 3, the topic, Vestavia Hills City Schools, the pride of our community.
Do your school-aged children currently attend or have they previously attended? Your school-aged children currently attend or have why did you choose that option? Vestavia Hills City Schools. If so, why did you choose that option? If not, what influenced that?
Yes, I have a student who is a proud freshman. I have a freshman campus student who is a proud another child, my son Drew, who attended another Vestavia school up until last year. The reason why he transferred out and he is now, the reason why is because he transferred out and he is now in boarding school. It's difficult to make that transition from here in Alabama to where he wants to make that transition. So, I'm perfectly comfortable in a cross. I'm enthusiastic supporter of the Vestavia Hills school system, and I certainly would enthusiastic dream of moving my children out of it unless that's something that goal. Dream of moving my children out of it unless that's something is to support their children and do what it takes in order to make their dreams come true. And so do what it takes in order to make their dreams come true. And so I make no apology.
Thank you, Mr. Pugh. Same question for you. Do your school-aged children currently attend or have they previously? Same question for you. Do your school-aged children currently attend or have they previously attended Vestavia Hills City Schools? If so, why did you choose that option?
Yes, my children went to East. My wife taught in school systems. It was a great fit for us. They went up through the school systems, both graduated. My youngest daughter had the dubious honor of being the first freshman campus class, and she was very excited about being at that school for 4 years. But she eventually moved on and got to have 1 year with her big sister. So yeah, both of my children went through the school system, an amazing experience. It's an incredible education that has well prepared them for college, and they have, quite honestly, they have thrived more in college than they did in high school because of the way Vestavia prepared them. More in college than they did in high school because of the way
Mr. DeMarco, same question for you. Do your school-aged children currently attend or have Mr. DeMarco, same question for you. Do your school-aged children currently attend or why did you choose that option? Vestavia Hills City Schools? If so, why did you choose that option?
Vestavia is the best school there is, right? Yes, they all attend Vestavia. I attended Vestavia. We all went to West. Yes, they all attend Vestavia. Just kind of something funny to talk about. We all went to West, but I was at the same elementary school that they're at now. My kids think it's my daughter graduated is at the same elementary school that they're at now. My daughter graduated and My son is seventh grade at the Zits. He is on the football team. My son is seventh grade at the Zits. Is in fifth grade, and then I have another third grade. My daughter. Yes, we're all in on the Vestavia school system. Third grade. Yes, we're all in on the Vestavia school system.
Now on to candidates for mayor. The topic, Airbnb. Now on to candidates for mayor. John. The topic, Airbnb and short-term
Would you support
rentals.
local ordinances that limit the number of Airbnb or short-term local ordinances, non-residents, limit the number of Airbnb or short-term rental
Additionally, would you
properties,
consider
non-residents
policies
that require
that
landlords
Vestavia
or
Hills?
property owners of
Additionally, would you
short-term
consider
rental
policies that
reside
require landlords
within
and
the
metro
property
area
owners
to
of
short-term
short-term
rental
rental
properties
properties
connection
to
to
reside within the Birmingham metro area
Got
to
it.
ensure
I
the
was all
accountability
set for the school
and connection to.
We have ordinances to protect us in that regard. We have planning and zoning rules about it. You would not want, and I don't think the city would want, just rampant Airbnbs showing up anywhere that regulated in the city. So,
We could have it, but.
with it regulated,
Limitations on
yes,
where
and we could have it, but certainly there would be
Okay,
limitations
similar
on
question for
where.
Mr. Cheatwood. Would you support local ordinances that limit the
Similar
number of
question for Mr.
Airbnb or
Cheatwood.
short-term
Would you
rental
support
properties,
local
non-residents
can
that
own
limit the number of Airbnb or
Additionally,
short-term
would you
rental
consider
properties,
policies
non-residents
that
require
require
landlords and
Vestavia
property
Hills
owners of short-term rental
Additionally, would
properties
you consider
reside
policies
within the
that
Birmingham
require
metro
landlords
area
and property
to
owners
ensure
of short-term
accountability and
rental
connection
properties
to the
to
community?
reside within the Birmingham metro area
Yes.
to ensure accountability and connection to the community?
Rentals, yes, if we have the VRBs, the short-term rentals, the owners need to be within reach. I don't think there should be, I would probably not. They have to fix it policy. I don't think there should be, I would probably not make any different policy because it's a, and I don't really think it's a free business and people can do the businesses they want. And I don't really think that people living in a house, we shouldn't judge them because they rent a house or a B&B or whatever. They should just, they should be treated as equal.
Michelle Hawkins with the Vestavia Hills Chamber of Commerce will ask the next round of questions. We'll begin. Michelle Hawkins with the Vestavia Hills Chamber of Commerce will ask the next round of questions. We'll begin with the candidates for council, place number 3. The topic, parks and
First
recreation.
question, what do you believe are the top 3 priorities for improving parks and recreational services? Top 3 priorities for improving parks and recreational services in our city?
Well, for years I had to 5 days a week drive out to Secret Hollow Athletic Complex, whether it was lacrosse or soccer. So I'm probably not the best person to ask this question to. Obviously, I would like to see facilities of that nature that could service on this side of town. I do think that would be a priority as we look at youth sports, but I also think that we need to learn to offset the cost of these parks and rec facilities with some tournaments that can help drive some revenue, bring local dollars into the tax base, support our local businesses as well. I would also, I like the improvements that we've done at Wall Park and the opportunities that it's brought. Obviously, the I Love America Night is a perfect example of what that park has been able to bring in. I think there's some other improvements with park to bring in.
Say how it feels.
Some other improvements with park.
Next question, Brian DeMarco. What strategies would you support to ensure that young athletes remain engaged in Vestavia Hills and recreation programs rather than leaving for private or pre-formed teams in order to build strong,
Yeah, I've coached youth baseball, football, and basketball, and just makes me crazy with all the travel bombing. I get it, it's great, but just makes me crazy with all the travel sports is where I get it. I mean, you just get so much from rec sports is where it happens. I wish there was a way to make these kids stay in that, and now they're leaving younger and younger, going to play travel ball. I wish there was a way to make these kids stay in that. We all gotta go that way at some point. Younger and younger going to play. I don't really know how you, I wish I had an answer for how we all gotta go that way at some point, but, because I think they're fantastic. I don't really know how you, whether it's continue them out, some of them, I know with soccer it ends at a certain age, you gotta kind of, whether it's transition or out, some of them, yeah, I mean, there's no soccer, it ends at a certain age, you gotta kind of make that transition early, but however we gotta do it, there's nothing better for kids than brag and youth sports. So,
Okay, next question.
however we gotta do it, let's keep them in there.
In recent years, Cahaba Heights Park has received improvements with the new ball fields and upgraded parking. However, Cahaba Heights lacks multi-purpose with the new ball fields and upgraded walking trails. However, Cahaba Heights lacks multi-purpose recreational How could you ensure walking trails and open green spaces for handicap spots? Access to parks and recreational facilities across the neighborhoods in all of us. Access to parks and recreational facilities across the neighborhoods
It's
in all of
not
us.
a terribly far drive from anywhere in Vestavia to get to another place. And so I think that we've got to recognize that some of our locations may be landlocked. Some of our neighborhoods may not have a whole lot of space available for different fields of different types, but if we already had the fields at Cahaba Heights, which I know we did, and I remember fondly being on those fields and coaching baseball, we need to use maybe other areas close by in order to get some different kind of fields out there. More, you know, baseball is a different field than football and soccer. Football, soccer are kind of the same. Baseball is the same sort of field. So we need to pool our resources as the bottom line and maximize the use of our city spaces for the benefit of everybody, whatever sport you maximize the use of our city. So we can only do that with the limited space that we've got. Whatever sport.
Thank you. And remember, these are questions that have been submitted from the public, so this is, thank you. Next, remember, these are questions that have been submitted from the public, so these are good. Next question.
Mayor, quality of life, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. It's for
Richard Cheatwood. Our
candidates for
city
mayor,
has a high
quality of life
percentage
for
of
seniors.
65 and older. Richard Cheatwood. What specific programs our city has a high percentage advocate for to 65 and older? What specific programs or services would you advocate for to improve the quality of life for seniors in our community?
If you become 65, well, the main one I would say is if you become 65, you no longer get property they can't afford. You want these people in their houses, leave their house after 50 years because they can't afford the standard property tax. But we have recreation centers doing. We've had them for ever since I've been here. We just need to keep finding new and more inventive things to do to keep us.
Next question, Ashley Curry. Do you support expanding transportation options for seniors who no longer drive? Do you support expanding transportation options for seniors who no longer drive? If so,
The question itself, there have been alternatives. The answer to your question is the question itself. There have been alternatives for senior transportation, even run by our Parks and Rec. Problem is that if there's a gap, it's with seniors that are senior living facilities, it's transportation from those facilities to events that we are having for our seniors. That's where the gap is. And then getting them to come. And I don't mind saying, I called one of our seniors today and asked her to come to the church dinner tomorrow night. She's physically not able to come. It's not a question of transportation. We just have some that are just not able to participate.
Candidates for council, place number 2. The topic, sustainable transportation. Candidates for council, place number 2. The topic, Sustainable transportation and accessibility.
I apologize. I went wrong. Leave the wrong place.
This is rotation of city.
I apologize. I went wrong. This is why I do sports.
Rotation of city. Forgive me. Rotation of city council. Forgive me. Rotation of city councilor assignments. Michelle.
Would you support rotating city council assignments for key? Sorry, okay.
Can we speak up and hopefully that will help?
Okay.
Can we speak up and hopefully that will help?
City. Okay, Kimberly, would you support rotating city council assignments for key liaison roles, including economic and parks and leisure among all city council members? Why or why not? And parks and leisure among all city council members. Why or why not?
So, many people may not be aware that the way that the council chooses our different liaisons for library board, law enforcement, planning and zoning, all of those roles, they do rotate according to what the council decides. So whoever gets elected among this group will decide what those positions are. So it's not something that's set, it's something that can rotate. I'm certainly willing to take other roles. I've been the education liaison for the last 9 years. So I have a strong interest in Chamber of Commerce. That's something that I have discussed with some folks. So I'm happy to take other roles, but that's just been the role that I've had for the last 9 years, and I've enjoyed it.
Council assignments. Carl, the same question to you. Would you support economic development, the Chamber of Commerce, the Board of Education, and Parks and Leisure? Economic development, the Chamber of Commerce, and Board of Education, and Parks and Leisure among
Yeah, so the
all
short
city
answer to that is yes, I would support that.
And why or why
The
not?
problem comes with trying to figure out the best way. So the short answer to that is yes, I would support that. The problem comes with trying to figure out the best way, the least disruptive way of doing that. You pause the timer. But you know, we don't want to be in a situation where we're constantly onboarding a new. We don't want to be in a situation where we're constantly onboarding a new liaison. So I would say ideally that the whole city council appointing and all of the party on the boards. So I would yes support that appointing, and I would like to figure out the best way to do that. So I would yes support that as far as rotating, and I would like to figure out the best way to do that, which would cause the least disruption as far as rotating. But yes, I would support that.
This is where I would normally take a commercial break, but I'm not allowed to do that in this city. This is where I would normally take a commercial break, but I'm not allowed to do that in this city. The Vestavia boys will ask the next round of questions. We'll begin with candidates for mayor. Vestavia boys will ask the next round of questions. We'll begin with candidates for mayor. The topic,
Mayor Curry, you have been a strong proponent of the city's current form of government for the city manager. Mayor Curry, you have been a strong proponent why you believe this current form of government for the city manager. Can you please explain why you believe this works better than the mayor council form of government?
Is the absolute.
There is no question in my mind that our form of government is the absolute
Look no further
best
than our
form
neighbors
of
in
government
Homewood.
for our city.
Paid us probably the biggest.
Look no
compliment.
further than
Yeah.
our neighbors in
When they
Homewood
decided to
that paid
change
us
the
probably the
government,
biggest compliment
the
you
term
could
they
get.
used was
When they decided to change their form of government,
We do more
the
with
term
less,
they
we're
used
more
was we're
efficient,
gonna
we
use
have
the best
full
Vestavia
accountability.
model.
We've got a
We do
professional
more with
city
less, we're
manager.
more efficient, we have full
I just
accountability.
can't. Oh,
We've got a
side note,
professional
I go to
city
the
manager.
mayoral association meeting.
I just can't.
I talk with
Side
my
note, I
colleagues,
go to
mayors and
mayoral
other cities.
association
Folks,
meetings.
we've got a very good.
I talk with my
thing in
colleagues
Vestavia.
that are mayors in other
Let's not
cities.
change that.
Folks, we've got a very good thing in Vestavia. Let's not change that.
Okay, Mr. Chief, would You have advocated doing away with the city manager's position and going back to a mayor-council form of government. You have advocated doing away with the city manager's position and going back to a mayor-council form of government.
I think it's the best.
Can you please explain why you think that would be the best course of action?
I think it's the best course of action because basically the city manager is spending their money. He spends money, and pays full price for everything. I sent a proposal out to Honda of Chattanooga. Best worldwide known for their low prices on Honda motorcycles. Full price. And they got the bid. Next time they got the bid, he just went out to Montgomery and bought it. Full price. So I'm a little thinking that we may have a little bit of kickback going down there. And I just think that that's probably, the more we keep him out of Montgomery,
I don't think he's I don't think he's doing what he's supposed to do. I think he's just running wild.
I don't think he's doing what he's supposed to do. I think he's just running wild, spending money, and the taxpayers deserve better with the money.
Candidates for council, place number 2. Sustainable transportation, candidates for council, place number 2, John. Sustainable transportation and
Do you support the
accessibility.
development of bicycle lanes in Vestavia Hills? And would you consider supporting small grants or incentives to bicycle lanes in Vestavia Hills? Would you consider supporting small grants or
Well, there's a lot to
incentives
unpack in
make
1 minute.
electric bikes more accessible
So
to
there's,
residents?
anybody that knows me, I'm not very good.
I'll say that.
So there's, anybody that knows me, I'm not much of a cyclist, but I do think that cycling is a great way of people getting around. So I'm not much of a cyclist, but I do think that cycling is a great way, so I do think it's important to make sure that a great way for people to safely exercise many times on. And so I do think it's important to make sure that they're doing that when you're down the curve and just like remembering many times. So I think, it makes sense to bikes look up and down the curve and just funding it in the traffic. So I think, it makes sense to look at, as far as electric bikes, funding it with grants. I would have to say, I would look into that more, but, as far as electric bikes, Birmingham, you got, I would have to say, I would look into that more, but, you look down to Birmingham, you got way to get around, e-bikes going on, I would say I would not necessarily act that after doing more research, which is how I would way to get around. So I would say I would come back to that after doing more research, which is how I would approach
Okay,
most
Ms.
things.
Cook, similar, same question for you. Do you support the development of bicycle lanes in Vestavia Hills? Similar, the same question for you. Do you support the development of bicycle lanes in Vestavia Hills? Would you consider supporting small grants or incentives to make electric bikes more accessible to residents?
So one of the challenges that we have in Vestavia Hills is hills. And so bike riding is a challenge. We do have portions of our city that are very rideable. And I'm a cyclist myself. I enjoy riding the Chief Diga Trail and did that over COVID, the whole 100 miles of it. I'm an avid cyclist. But I think that there are other ways that we can achieve, what we need are the trails. We need the good trails for people to ride on. So rather than focus on roads, I would focus on trails and regional cooperation to develop something like the Chief Diga Trail, but have it local. That's something that I've wanted. I think that a lot of folks would enjoy that.
Candidates for council, place number 3. Topic is stormwater management. Candidates for council, place number 3. Topic is stormwater management
Vestavia
and
Hills,
flooding
like some of our neighbors, has repetitive problems with stormwater. Vestavia Hills, like some of our neighbors, has repetitive problems with stormwater. Actions did you propose the city? Do you believe the city is doing enough to explain why you think the city's actions? What actions would you propose the city take? If so, explain why you think the city's actions are
I think there's a line between what the city can do and what the city can't do.
Yeah, I think
I understand that there is private property issues and there are county and state issues that the city cannot get involved in. One thing I would like to see on the stormwater issue though is the drains that are the city's responsibility being cleaned out. One thing I would like to see. We've got to make an effort to get all of those cleaned out the best that we can. I want to also start working with county and state people to make better partnerships so that when issues like the bridge at Patton Creek under 31 have 3 feet of dirt and whatever else in there, that we're cleaning them out on a regular basis. It's got to be done to
When they were
protect
housing
us,
there. Now we're
protect our
cleaning them out
houses
on
and
a
our
regular
neighborhoods
basis,
from the water. It's got to be done to protect us, protect our houses and our neighborhoods.
Michael Bircher, similar question for you. Vestavia Hills, like some of our neighbors, has repetitive problems with stormwater flooding. Similar question for you. Vestavia Hills, like some of our neighbors, has repetitive problems with stormwater flooding. Do you believe the city is doing enough to explain why we think the city's actions? What actions would you propose the city take?
So I think the question really is, what is the city permitted to do with regard to the different areas that promote or cause stormwater runoff? And it's a legal issue, and it's my understanding that the state does not allow Vestavia Hills or any other entity to get into their drains. Now, having said that, we need to focus on preventative maintenance of the drain. Because looking into the situation, what I found is that a lot of the time, it is a clogged issue, and there's no really way to predict which gutter systems and which drainage systems are going to get clogged. So the key is going to be to get out there and have a systematic way to be able to figure out and prevent clogs from occurring in the locations that we're able to access as the city. So we need to be careful about certainly not doing things that we're not permitted to do with regard to the drainage system. But we also need to be preventative maintenance as key. But we also need to be
Jacob Pugh, Vestavia Hills, like some of our neighbors, has repetitive problems with stormwater flooding. Jacob Pugh, Vestavia Hills, like some of our neighbors, has repetitive problems with stormwater flooding. Do you believe the city is doing enough to explain why you think the city's actions are you propose the city take?
At the risk of being repetitive here, there are a lot of stakeholders involved in this. I'm sure that if city management could get a backhoe down underneath the bridge and just clean it out, they would do that. But unfortunately, there are limitations to what the city can do. I know that it is an area of concern. I know that current city management is working on that solution. I would like to be a part of those discussions to see what else we can do. Are there other areas that we could put pressure on the state or force their hand to be able to help us out with this situation? I do think that there could be some master planning around preventative maintenance, future storm drainage runoff, other areas that we could probably try to divert the water. But again, it's a complicated issue with a lot of stakeholders, and I feel like we just have to work with all those stakeholders very intently to be able to come up with a solution. All those stakeholders very
I believe we've got time for one last question for everyone, is that correct? I believe we've got time. Michelle, once again, with the Vestavia Hills Chamber, we'll ask the final question. It's the same question for each candidate. With the Vestavia Hills Chamber, we'll ask the final question. It's the same question for each candidate. Starting on the far right, Michael Bircher, and we'll move across to the left. Each candidate will have 1 minute each.
Okay, same question. This will work, okay. So the question, the topic is about commitment beyond election. So if you are not elected, the topic is about commitment beyond election. If you are not elected to the position you are seeking, to the Vestavia, how do you plan to continue serving and contributing to the Vestavia Hills community?
Planning and Zoning Committee.
Well, I will continue on in my
And
position.
happy to do that, as a matter of fact, because I love the sense of forming community. I share a passion, I think, with our city manager, Jeff Downs, and that is creating a place in the community that you're able to buy into, invest in, and really transform a city and transform the identity of a city. Not into something different than it was, but to a better version of itself. And I think I can do that most effectively if I'm not voted on council by continuing my work on planning and zoning so that we can have great spaces, great businesses for everybody in the city to enjoy. Great spaces, great businesses for everybody in the city to enjoy.
I've been in civic service my entire life, and it's not going to stop just because I don't get elected to city council, if that's the way this works out. It is something I enjoy. It is in the fiber of my being. My parents installed that in me when I was a young person, and it's not going to stop. Part of my reason for enjoying to get to know both of my opponents is that when this is all settled, regardless of how the outcome is, how can I continue to serve and partner with them, whoever the winner is, to continue advancing the city and our quality of life here.
To repeat the question again, Brian DeMarco. If you are not elected to the position you are seeking, how do you plan to continue serving and contributing? If you are not elected to the position you are seeking, how do you plan to continue
Yes,
serving and
as they've already
contributing
echoed,
to the Vestavia Hills
committed
community?
to the city. I'm happy to just be up here with everybody. You know, if this doesn't work out in my favor, it's not gonna change anything. I'm gonna continue coaching ball kids. I'm gonna continue volunteering at the school and showing up for the Halloween parties and bringing candy and doing all the same old stuff. I'll probably apply for a board or something like that. So my goal is just to serve the city the best way I can. Apply for a board or something like that. So yeah, my goal is just to serve the city the best way I can.
Thank you. Carl Julian, same question
So
to you.
like I said in the opening, I've lived here all my life, and so I love the city. So like number one said in the opening, I've lived here all my life, and so I love it. That's somebody that cares about me. And I think the number one way I can continue being involved is to be engaged. Fears to get people, and somebody that cares about people, cares about people's they want to see in their city, peers, community. So I continue listening to people. I also continue trying to find solutions for people. So I continue listening to people, better. I continue trying to find solutions for people to engage, people to reach out to the city better, because it's really wonderful now.
Kimberly Cook.
Continue being engaged.
If you are not elected to the position you are seeking, how do you plan to continue serving and contributing? If you are not elected to the position you are seeking, how do you plan to continue serving and contributing to the Vestavia Hills community?
Kids were in school, so before I was elected to council, I was very involved in schools because my kids were in school. So I held just about every position there was on the PTO. I was also involved in the Boy Scouts and at my church. But after having served on city council, I'm very aware of the importance of our boards, our volunteers, who really are the key to making our city wonderful. Our school board, our library board, our BZA, our design review board. All of those boards are critical to the mission. I have a personal interest in libraries. My first job was working as a page in the library, and I love libraries. So I could see myself, I'm already a member of the Friends of the Library and help in the bookstore, but I would like to be on the library board. I think I would like to see us expand our programs, especially in the Liberty Park area where they haven't had as much.
Okay, my commitment.
Ashley Curry, same question to you.
Before I got elected. Okay, my commitment for public service started a long time before I got elected. As a matter of fact, in the late 80s, I served on our Parks and Rec Board. And subsequent to that, I served on the library board. So then I get into this role, and yes, when this term is over, if there's no future elected office, I will certainly continue service to the community, whether it be through my church, the outreach ministries that we have at the church, or some other capacity. Heck, as a bona fide citizen, I can assure you I'll be
And Richard
involved with senior
Cheatwood,
citizen
same question. If
activity.
you are not elected to the position you are seeking, how do you plan to? And Richard
Cheatwood,
Cheatwood, same question. If you are not elected to the position you are seeking, how do you plan to continue serving and contributing to the Vestavia Hills community?
Well, in 19 years I served here, it's caused me to have 2 back surgeries from riding around the car with a belt on.
I would probably continue to do anything in the city.
I don't see that, I would probably continue to do anything in the city in any case. And, the chief of police now sent me a letter saying I can't talk to anybody. And I have to write a letter to talk to him. So, I think that I'm just not gonna, Jeff Downs, if we don't get to the city manager, then he's just so hard to deal with. And, he needs, if we don't get rid of that city manager, then we don't have anything else left in the city.
Thank you, candidates, for your responses. And now it's time to move to closing statements. Each candidates for your responses. And now it's time to move to closing statements. Each candidate opening statements. 1 minute. So we will And we will proceed in the same order as the opening statements.
Vestavia
So
needs to
we will
start taking
begin with Richard G.
get rid of
You have
the
1 minute.
political mindset, taking interest. Vestavia needs to start taking get rid of the because it's not political mindset and taking interest in what other tax dollars does. Because it's not going, they're just using them.
The question about the 2023 of, people voted.
The question about the 2023.
Else to do with it.
Well, the people voted, and that was their voice.
Just,
I didn't have anything else to do with it, and I don't.
They're entitled to know what you do with their money.
Just,
Entitled to know what you're gonna do
the
with it.
people are entitled, they're entitled to know what you do with their money. They're entitled to be known what you're gonna do with it.
Transparency with the city council, mayor, and city manager.
Transparency within the city council, mayor,
Running the
and
business.
city doing
Running the city in the ground.
all
We
about
should not, when I was here, we were never in debt.
running the business and running the city in the ground.
We are in a.
We should not, when I was here, we were never in debt. And we are in,
Ashley Curry,
we're
you
about
have
to go
1
into a
minute.
terrible debt.
I would like to continue the success that
Ashley
we've
Curry,
accomplished
you have 1
during the
minute.
past 2 terms. I would like to continue the success that we've accomplished during the past 2 terms. During those 2 terms, we've implemented strategic planning and sound fiscal policies that have resulted in a general fund budget for this year of $80 million. That is double. That's the reason we had in 2016 when we came in office. That's the reason we've been able to fund all the projects that we've completed and why we continue with the capital projects that we've planned. Our success is not a one-time achievement, but a continuous, intentional process built on found financial habits, strategic planning, and a commitment to continuously improve. I look forward to serving as your mayor for the next 4 years.
So there's one thing that drove me to run for council in the
Kimberly
first
Cook,
place,
you have
and that's
1
to
minute.
give our kids the very So there's one thing that drove me to run for council in the first place, and that's to give our kids the very best education possible. From AP classes to STEM, I want every opportunity for them to excel. That's why I support board members who listen to parents and reflect our community's values. Look all around you. Our city has never looked better. We have spent your money on things that are important to you. You don't have to imagine it because you can see it. Walled Park, Aquatic Roundabout, and Pump House. Cahaba Heights Park, Crosshaven Drive, New Myrtle Senior Center. The list goes on and on. And that's not by accident. This happened because we listened, whether it's over coffee, in an email, or on the phone. I pay attention to you because we are spending your money. Vote for Kimberly Cook. I'll keep delivering results you're proud of and schools that put families first.
So my campaign slogan is pretty much sums up who I am. Voice for everyday. So my campaign slogan, being on this pretty much sums up who I am. Voice for everyday. I think we have great cities. We all live here, and we all have so many different backgrounds. I think we have a great city. We all live here, and we all have so many different backgrounds. We all have so many different for ideas, opinions. Feel like they have. I would love to say what goes on. Voice for everybody. For everybody to be able to have like they have. So I'm stepping up what goes on. Like for you to vote Carl Julian on August 26th. It's not happening now. So I'm stepping up. That's why I would like for you to vote Carl Julian on August 26th.
I'm just going to use my time to thank you all again for coming out here. I think it's very important what you're doing. Coming to be informed on what all of us are trying to do. So thank you again. I know it's tough to get answers in 1 minute, so if you got any additional questions, I'm happy to answer them. But the one thing I really want to say is just go vote. Whether it's for any of us, whoever it is, just make sure you go vote. Encourage your friends to get out and vote. It's one of our most honored duties that we can do as Americans, and so let's make sure we're acting on that. Most honored duties that we can do as Americans, and so let's make sure we're acting on that. Please.
I've had the opportunity to have hundreds of conversations over the last 6 weeks, knocking on doors. And I just want to thank the people, many of who I see their faces right now, who I've had the opportunity to talk with you on your front doorstep. I've had the opportunity to listen and to learn about your perspectives, about what you think is important in this community. And I'm better for it, regardless of how this election turns out. So I'm just very thankful for that, and if elected, I know that I'll be able to draw on those experiences and those conversations to be a better person and a better city council person. My wife and I chose Vestavia 15 years ago. We chose Vestavia because of the type of community it was, the schools that it had, the quality of life that it provided. And my mission has just been to give back to this community that's been so gracious to me, and I hope that I can continue to do that and serve in that capacity on city council. Continue to do that and serve in that capacity on city council.
Thank you. You know, it occurs to me, sitting up here, thank you. That I'm in it for the right reasons. I don't have a public axe to grind. I don't have any hidden agenda. I'm up here because I believe that we've got, Vestavia Hills has got a problem, and we don't have a solution yet for it. There was a plea made to help fund our school system to its capacity to maintain schools in excellent condition. There was an answer to that, a definitive no, we're not gonna raise property taxes. So guess what? I'm a problem solver. I've been doing, that's a problem. I've been doing it for 25 years. I collaborate, I don't dictate. We figure out a way to, I work with my clients and the members of the community, if y'all elect me, in order to figure out a solution to the problem that does not include raising taxes, and that's what I pledge to. I pledge to you to try to figure out a creative way to fix the problems.
Thank you to all of our candidates. We appreciate you sharing all perspectives this evening. We also extend our gratitude to the Vestavia Hills Chamber of Commerce, Vestavia Voice. We also extend our gratitude to the Vestavia Hills Chamber of Commerce and the Vestavia Voice for hosting